like this. Look, some people are going to be offended by this, and they're going to feel like it's not right to attack a whole organization based on this cat. And I know in the past I've had my beefs with these Moors. And if you look on some of the videos on this channel, or if you subscribe to my last channel, or seen me on Facebook years ago, I used to go in on these Moors, and I've had debates with these cats several times on Block Talk Radio. And I know it's not all Moors, but we got to keep it a buck right now. Y'all let him in the door. And it's not enough just to say that, hey, we don't, anything he says does not represent the MSTA. That's not enough anymore. Y'all created this cat. Y'all allowed him to affiliate, get credentialed within your organizations. And you should have been the one that put this dog down. And now it's like we have to do it. So at this point, it's time for y'all to step up to the plate and let it be known where y'all at with this. Or you're going to have to take that ride with them. That's just how it is. I know this don't apply to everybody, but that's just how the game is going right now. If y'all don't do your due diligence to be on the right side of history and help destroy and crush and bring forth what you know, then y'all got to take that ride with them. Anyway, let's go. I'm going to go ahead and play this video with some commentary, get up out of here, and call it a day.
The one. And we got to understand all these other people who try to undermine us, who've been trying to undermine our claims for years. When we start talking about what we need to do as far as reparations, understand all of these other groups for years you ain't gonna get no reparations. Don't get the white man reparations.
That's right.
How you gonna get reparations when you ain't got no nationality and all?
Right.
Remember all that talk?
Yep.
That the plebiscite babblers were doing?
Yep.
And the plebiscite babblers be clicked in with some of these racist Latinos against us, by the way, too. Let's go to church today. Can we get real today? Can we get real? I might have to get offensive today. Should I go there on a Reticussi Eve? Should we just speak truth to power?
Absolutely.
All of these buffoons who were telling us we ain't gonna get nothing because we got to get the status correction and nationalize and black is not a color. All of that stuff. All of these plebiscite babbling Negroes. Notice how they start popping up in the reparations conversations all of a sudden. Oh, let's go there. Let's go there. Let's keep it real today, guys. On a Reticussi Eve. Let's keep it real today. All of these fez-wearing fools and other buffoons would pop up in our circles. All of a sudden, you want to talk at the reparations hearings now. You want to chime in on reparations, and you were the main people telling us we ain't going to get nothing.
Facts.
These were the main Negroes telling us we weren't going to get nothing.
That's facts. That's facts. I've had plenty of discussions with these cats who said the exact same thing to this day. And now they see the needle being moved without all that bullshit, because that's the same discussions that I was having with people. You got to check your nationality. You have to proclaim this. You can never have it as a black or colored. Look at the Black's Law Dictionary and all that bullshit. I'm like, that's bullshit. They know who we are. They know they owe it. If something like that would stop us from getting it, we ain't getting it. If something like that would stop us from getting it, like if you think that just us changing our nationality or doing all that goofy shit is the difference, but all these other cats don't have to do it, people who aren't even citizens can get reparations, that's ridiculous. And now they see the needles being moved just how we said we could, because we have that power and that influence on a grassroots level. Now they want to get into the conversation now. Now that they see that the needle is moving and that we're getting closer and we're getting results, all of a sudden everybody got something to say.
Nothing. Hold on, guys. We're going to go there today. Hold on. Hold on. So let's go here. Let's go here. We're talking about the plebiscite babbling buffoons. let's go here for a minute. Let's be real because we got to talk about these fez-wearing plebiscite buffoons. Let me go here for a minute because we got to reevaluate the Moorish Science Temple of America. Let me go there for a minute because when we see some of the notice, like last week, we did a whole bunch of shows talking about who is this? Damn, I'm not going to answer this right now. We did a bunch of shows last week. A lot of us were talking about these plebiscite babbling, fez-wearing buffoons coming around, babbling and trying to undermine the reparations conversations. Were any Moorish Science Temple Negroes in here? Let's get real about these Negroes. And yeah, when we see them, when you have pieces of shit as your representatives, like Taharka Bey, who's a piece of shit, other people, Sabir Bey is a piece of shit. All of these pieces of filth representing your organization, we have to start looking at that organization and what it's really about. We got to start doing a deep dive into that organization. I'm saying the Moorish Science Temple of America, to be honest, ain't shit as an organization. Yeah, you might have a couple of people who are cool. Jose Pimenta Bey, I like him. He's a part of the Moorish Science Temple of America. He's a great historian. But they're so far in between, man. When you have all of these people who ain't shit a part of your organization, that means the root of the organization ain't shit. Let me go there. I'm saying the Moorish Science Temple of America, as an organization, y'all ain't worth a damn as an organization. What has the Moorish Science Temple of America done constructively in the last 100 years? They've been around for 100 years, and they ain't really got shit to show for it, but a bunch of plebiscite babbling buffoons. I'm going there today. Oh no, they don't claim Taharka. Yes, they do. That's another no. Yes, Taharka Bey is a grand sheik of that bullshit. Don't try to distance yourself from the bullshit, niggas. No, he's a part of it. He represents that organization. I've had a couple of them Negroes try to disown Taharka, bitch. No. That's your guy. You ain't gonna disown that dude. He represents that organization, and you allow him to represent your organization, and you know that he's a sexual abusing, child abusing, a woman abusing piece of filth, and so many other people. Sabir Bey, that nigga owes me money for a judgment. I have to sue this nigga for bootlegging movies. Years ago, I've been dealing with these plebiscite babbling con artists from the Moorish Science Temple for years. And let's just look back and be real. I'm asking you guys, what has the Moorish Science Temple of America done for black society or anything constructive in the last 100 years? What have they done?
Hey, I've asked the same question plenty of times in plenty of debates, plenty of discussions. Same thing. Like let's look at every single time that we've made progress. Where were they? Huh? Were they with us when Nat Turner was doing his thing? Nope. Was they with us when MLK and Malcolm X and the Panthers were doing their thing? Nope. Were they with us in the 90s when we were doing our thing? Nope. Was they with us in the summer of 2020 a couple years ago? Nope. But we damn sure have a record of them aiding and abetting our enemies during times of conflict, everywhere from here to the Congo to Ethiopia to West Africa to the Caribbean. Think about that. But you don't have any records of them actually doing anything in all this time. Nothing that they have taught has been constructive as a whole.
I mean, let's just use logic. I like to use logic. The Moorish Science Temple ain't done shit. They have not done nothing contributed nothing, built nothing. All they got is a bunch of scammy ass plebiscite babbling frauds running around here. Bootlegging movies. Nothing. Let's be real. They have not done nothing. If you've been around this long and you ain't doing nothing, you ain't really done nothing. You have nothing going on but selling bullshit ass sovereign citizens packages. Let's keep it a buck. Some of these organizations that's just lurking around, we have to look and see what's the constructive result of these organizations. Nothing. All they do is have these federal ass, agent ass Negroes running around here undermining stuff. Selling jive ass status correction. Scams. Scamming. Let's keep it a buck. The Moorish Science Temple, if you're in here, come on in and get some of this work. Y'all ain't done nothing. It's a bunch of clowns associated with that organization. And let's do a deep dive. You said the Moorish Science Temple is great. How so? Let's look back at the history of the Moorish Science Temple, because when you have so many people who are janky as hell, that's a part of an organization, because every time you look up, there's some nigga with a fez that stole somebody's house, they done moved into somebody's house, I'm a sovereign citizen and I'm laying claim to this property.
Facts.
It's always a scam.
Right. Come on.
It's always a damn
Come on. Don't get mad. Don't get mad, y'all. Do something about it. Y'all are letting people make you look bad with this shit. And it's the same points I've made before. You see Moors in court. When do you see Moors in court? When they get caught with some underage runaway, unregistered pistol and some cocaine, all of a sudden they're challenging jurisdiction and all that kind of bullshit. But they ain't using none of this knowledge of law to apply it to situations that benefit us as a whole. It's just when it's them individually, something goes down, all of a sudden they're challenging jurisdiction and all this other bullshit. You ain't never seen them use any of that shit actually successfully, for one, and never attempted to use it in a way that is good for the collective. Scams.
Keep it a buck.
Let's go.
It's always scammy with these dudes. Let's look at the history of the people who started it. Because you can't be this scammy without the root being somewhat scammy and janky and questionable. Because when we look back, I'm starting to look back, I'm like, wait a minute. When I look at some of these Moorish Science Temple dudes who ain't scammy, you can count on one hand who ain't on a scam. Keep it a buck. You can count on one hand who's not scamming. So when it's that bad, when most of the people are scamming and the non-scammers are far in between, that means the root of it ain't right. You dig? Oh, let's get into it. Let's look. The Moorish Science Temple, founded by Noble Drew Ali, whose real name was Walter Brister. They tried to lie and say he was from like South Carolina somewhere. No, he's not. Noble Drew Ali's name was Walter Brister. He was from Kentucky. And he was a circus performer. He was working in the circus. He was a child star on Broadway. And around the late 1800s, because he was a child star in the late 1800s, working on Broadway, touring around the country, touring around the world, actually. Walter Brister, that's his name. In the late 1800s, early 1900s, there was a big Orientalist movement going on where they would have circuses and they would have black people play Arabs, play Moorish jugglers, and they would have them play Egyptians. They would have them play these exotic Easterners. They would have them play East Indians. Listen to me. They would have a lot of black people play these circus roles, circus characters. And black people found out if I put on a turban or a fez, I don't get the same racist backlash of just being a regular black person. They started to find this out in the late 1800s, early 1900s. You had people like Granville T. Woods, who was a foundational black American, but a lot of times he would go around and tell people he was from Australia. So they would be less racist. He was a very, very thorough inventor. He invented a lot of stuff, but sometimes he would tell people, well, yeah, I'm actually Australian. I was born in Australia, so that they wouldn't treat him as bad as they would treat the foundational black Americans. They would treat foundational black Americans a certain way, but other people who were from Eastern cultures, they wouldn't treat them as hostile. And Noble Drew Ali, early on, aka Walter Brister, he learned this while working in the circus. He would take on these identities of these exotic others, and he would dance and play the flute and all of this stuff. No, let me get on that Timothy Drew stuff in a minute. Timothy Drew, no, I get on that. Let me break that Timothy Drew stuff down. That Timothy Drew stuff came later. Walter Brister and his wife, he had a wife named Eva Brister. Eva Brister, that was his wife, and she was a circus performer too. She would perform in the circus with him. She would be a snake charmer. All right? She would later be in the Moorish Science Temple as well. After they divorced, and there's pictures of him and her, Ava, her name was Ava Allen later on, a part of the Moorish Science Temple. The Walter Brister dude actually faked his death. He was a magician. So they would do magic acts and all of this stuff. So this dude eventually, around 1914, he faked his death and then reemerged as Professor Drew. All right? Follow me on this. He reemerged as Professor Drew.
Look, I'm sitting here looking this up right now. Hold up. Who is John Walter Brister? Prophet Noble Drew Ali was born John Walter Brister around 1879. He was the first black child to star on Broadway, the star of the show that became the most popular American play ever by World War II. I'm just saying, it checks out. Let's go.
In New Jersey, I think Walter Brister took on the identity of his brother. His brother's name was Timothy Drew, or Thomas Drew. Listen, his brother was adopted by his mom's husband. That's where the Drew name comes in. The man's name was Drew. Last name was Drew. I think Jonathan Drew or something like that. So his brother was adopted by this man, so he took the name on Timothy Drew or Thomas Drew. Noble Drew Ali, a.k.a. Walter Brister, took on his brother's identity. That's where the Timothy Drew stuff came in. So Noble Drew Ali started off as Professor Drew. He started selling bogus medical elixirs. The rabbit hole is deep. I'm getting deep here. Oh, yeah. Y'all, while I'm talking, y'all research what I'm saying, okay? While I'm talking, I want you to research what I'm saying.
Look it up.
So, Noble Drew Ali was conning and scamming.
Look, same thing I told you before. When I start bringing out this information on Taharka Bay, when y'all was trying to tell me that it was doctor, that I made it up. I said, look it up. Case number. You're going to pull it up, and you're going to pull up, and you're going to see this right here. Period. Look it up.
Early on, he was going around as Professor Drew. Like, yes, I'm an Egyptian healer. First, he was an Egyptian healer. I'm from the Far East, and I'm an Egyptian healer, and I can heal you. So he was selling bullshit medical elixirs. And he was getting arrested. He kept getting arrested for practicing medicine without a license. So he kept getting arrested for selling snake oil, basically. So this is their prophet. Okay, I'm giving y'all some insight on the prophet of these Moorish Science Temple dudes. This is their prophet. Noble Drew Ali was a scam artist. He was getting arrested for scamming, practicing medicine without a license, selling these bullshit elixirs. And then he started getting the game from this dude. It was already another dude named Abdul Hamid Suleiman, who was the precursor to Noble Drew Ali. Abdul Hamid Suleiman was out here claiming to be Moorish this, because he was with the Shriners. He had the whole fez. They were selling the whole Moorish thing. He was telling people he was an Arab, and yeah, follow me, change your status, and everybody convert to Islam. And, you know, he was part of one of these Masonic lodges, Abdul Hamid Suleiman, all right? Running around claiming the Moor thing. The Moor thing started with him. Noble Drew Ali was a student of this guy. Noble Drew Ali was getting game from this Abdul Hamid Suleiman guy. Here's the problem. The Suleiman dude went to jail. And that's when Noble Drew Ali kind of moved in on his hustle. When Abdul Suleiman went to jail, Noble Drew Ali moved right on in on the hustle. Now, Abdul Suleiman went to jail. Why? Molesting a 13-year-old girl. This nigga molested one of his followers. They had some kids, and he molested a 13-year-old, and his ass went to jail. So then Noble Drew Ali moved in on the scam with the fez and all of that stuff, rocking the fezes, telling people you're citizens of Morocco. And then he had the Circle 7 Quran. Noble Drew Ali wrote this Circle 7 Quran, which was basically some plagiarized. He plagiarized it from a couple of white writers. So that was a scam. Y'all Google what I'm saying. Google what I'm saying, guys. Yeah? Listen to what I'm saying. So Noble Drew Ali wrote that Circle 7, or plagiarized it. He scammed that. Everything was a scam. One good thing I'll say, I will see if it's good, he was the first person to spread the mass movement of Islam among black people, because black people wanted something new. We were going through so much racism, so black people wanted something new. So him telling black people, hey, look, you're not just Negro, you come from the East, we're part of the Moroccan Empire, and whoop-dee, blah, 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 blah. All of this bullshit. And at the time, around 1921, right around the time when he was cultivating the Moorish Science Temple, there was something called the Rif War going on in Morocco. So you had these black Berbers who were engaging in guerrilla warfare, and they were fighting off the French and the Spanish. So they were putting in some work, and the black press was talking about that. So a lot of black people saw in the black press these black people over there in Morocco with these fezes fighting off white.
Let me bring some other history into this as well. Something I brought off before. So when these Moors try to use that peace and friendship treaty, understand what they're really quoting. Look it up and look at Article 12 and 13. And what you'll see in that peace and friendship treaty, first of all, if you know history, you know that in 1787, when that was written, the indigenous were already conquered in Western Africa, including Morocco, the Songhai Empire, the Mali Empire, and all that. So these were white Turks that was in control of Morocco at the time when the Peace and Friendship Treaty was written. And if you look at Article 13, they basically made an agreement with the United States to say that, hey, we know you're going to be transporting slaves from the coast, and we're not going to trip. Do what you do. We'll make a partnership. We can do business together. This is what it actually said.
Colonial power, so black people were kind of inspired by that. They're like, okay, damn, that's cool. So Noble Drew Ali and those guys kind of capitalized off that. Like, look at us, we're the Grady Might Moroccans, and blah. It was a scam, dude. It was a scam. And if we're gonna be real, Noble Drew Ali, he was up here messing with some underage women. Let me keep it a buck. Noble Drew Ali he had a 12-year-old that he got knocked up, a 16-year-old, 14-year-old. So he was out here with some underage girls too. Y'all Google, hey, come on. Where we at? Let's peel the layers back. Now we see. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Those arguments are not destroyed. These are, no, no, no. This is the truth. These arguments were not destroyed. These are facts. These arguments were not destroyed. Plebiscite babbling don't destroy these arguments. Plebiscite babbling don't destroy these arguments. No, no, no. No, no. You can plebiscite babble all day. These are facts. You can Google these facts. All right, hold on. Noble Drew Ali, statutory rape of a 12-year-old girl. That hasn't been debunked. Everybody ain't lying. All of these niggas, everybody ain't lying about these niggas messing with these underage girls, dude. Damn, everybody ain't lying. You think? There's a reason why you see these niggas now. You look at these Negroes now, they got these sexual abuse charges that I'm going to debunk that. No, that's part of your culture. That's part of your culture. Come on. Google all this stuff. Google it. Noble Drew Ali was messing with them underage girls too. Messing with 12-year-olds and 14-year-olds. Google it. So now you see why you got so many dirt bags associated with that damn organization. The apple doesn't fall too far from the damn tree, does it? The apple don't fall too far from the tree. This organization was poisoned from the get-go with janky Negroes, and then they started imploding on each other. There was a dude named Claude Green who ended up getting murdered. Claude Green saw the finesse and he wanted to get in on it. He wanted some of the money and he wanted in on the scam. And from what I understand with the Claude Green guy, some of the corrupt white politicians kind of papered him up and pulled him to the side. So he was going to start his own little Moorish community. You dig? Yeah. Look, even now, these niggas are always trying to get out of traffic tickets and child support. That's all they do. All it is scammy niggas trying to get out of child support. I can't pay child support. I'm a citizen of Morocco. I have sovereignty. It's always scammy. But listen, the apple don't fall too far from the tree. You dig? So then the Claude Green dude, some corrupt white politicians were papering him up. And then what happened, he broke off from the Moorish Science Temple because of money disputes. And some people say he was messing with one of Noble Drew Ali's wives. So they ended up killing this dude. The Moorish Science Temple had this dude killed. They shot him and stabbed him up. That made the block hot. That made the whole block hot. And what happened was, the white politician that was papering Claude Green up, this dude was connected with the underworld. Remember, this was in Chicago at a time when Capone was still a thing. So Capone was all mixed in with the money and all of that stuff. So then Noble Drew Ali ended up dying mysteriously. Many people believe that he was poisoned. The official thing, he died of tuberculosis, which I don't believe. I think they offed him. So they got a whole history of scamming, dude. And after that whole scandal, the black community and the black press basically turned on the Moorish Science Temple. The black press at the time, they were saying that this is a racket. These are a bunch of scammers. If you look at the black press at the time, even they said these people are janky and full of shit. That's why they don't have any traction. That's why the Moorish Science Temple, they don't have no traction. Nobody really messes with them. They're just here. They just linger around. And what happened in the 1940s during World War II, they got completely infiltrated because a lot of the soldiers were overseas fighting in World War II. So the government, they were afraid that some of these Muslim organizations like the Nation of Islam, and the Nation of Islam came, and let me go back. The Nation of Islam came out of that, and they did what was right and exact. See, what Elijah Muhammad did, he did all the things that Noble Drew Ali was supposed to do without all the damn scamming. All right? Elijah Muhammad came and picked up the mantle and did everything right and exact. That's why their reputation is impeccable. That's why they're still standing strong, standing deep now with the respect they're supposed to get. Elijah Muhammad came and did everything the way it was supposed to be done. Let's do things right and exact. Let's not be out here scamming. Let's not be out here on some pedophile shit. You dig? Let's not be out here selling snake oil. You see? And then, like I said, the FBI infiltrated the Moorish Science Temple in the 1940s because they were trying to subvert any type of rising up of the black masses out here. And they got a bunch of ops in the Moorish Science Temple. Yeah, the Nation of Islam, very disciplined. They had the discipline that Noble Drew Ali and those guys didn't have. The honor, the respect, the character.
And this is what y'all gotta understand. Regardless if you so-called claim this dude or not, he's operating under your banner. He's operating under your profit. He's operating. I mean, Moorish World TV is now known for only attacking our people and for the shenanigans that he has committed in your name. So if y'all ain't gonna, get up in this, then we gotta assume that y'all riding with him at this point. Because y'all should have put him down a long time ago. For real. So right now, it's time for y'all to pick it up. For real. The separation is now. This dude has been operating under your name, making y'all look bad. If you don't mind that, then you got to take this L with him.
The Moorish Science Temple did not and does not have. You understand? You don't have no plebiscite babbling buffoons in the Nation of Islam like you do in the Moorish Science Temple. You don't have these scammy ass niggas like you do in the Moorish Science Temple. You understand? You don't have these lying plebiscite babbling buffoons. You just don't have it because the nation takes care of that. They don't want their organization to look bad, so they check that at the door. You got to be right and exact. And the fact that the Moorish Science Temple has so many plebiscite babbling, jive ass, con ass buffoons, woman beating, child abusing, sex abusing buffoons out here, that says a lot about their organization and the structure and the root of it. You dig? No, Malcolm said young girls, didn't say underage. Let's get that straight about Elijah Muhammad.
That's facts.
There's a reason why Malcolm worded it that way.
That's right. And I remember when, who was that? Young Pharaoh kept on saying pedophile, underage. Listen to anything Malcolm X said. He's never said underage. He said young girls or teenagers. He never said underage. Not only that, you could do the math on all of Elijah's wives and mother or children when they were born and how old their mother was. The math has already been done. They weren't underage. Not only that, for people that even try to use that, is fugazi because none of his wives ever came up against him publicly. So if they ain't mad, what the hell are you mad for?
He said Elijah was young girls, never underage. Elijah Muhammad was not with no underage girls. You see, watch the wording. Noble Drew Ali was with children. And his precursor, Abdul Hamid Suleiman, was with children, sexually. You dig? Y'all do some research on that. Now, that will explain why you have so many buffoonish-ass plebiscite babbling clowns associated with the Moorish Science Temple. Just the fact that they would have a grand sheik like a clown like Taharka Bey, that's your representative? That speaks a lot about your organization. You dig? So again, we got to keep these people out of our damn mix. We got to keep people out of our mix, and these non-constructive plebiscite babbling buffoons who come around us undermining everything, because that's their job, to undermine everything, because that's what they've been about. You dig? So that brings clarity to a lot of the plebiscite babbling fezwares that you see, ladies and gentlemen.